Okay, so to finish off the last video, so where I stopped at was I had pretty much asked my sister to drop me off there or to take me up there so I can, test out his car and, try it out or whatever to see what it was, to see if I liked it or whatever. And so again, I was feeling kind of pressured because I'm like, crap, birthday party, in the next couple of days. So I need a car or, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. So, so then what ended up happening was I went, my sister, she took me up there. I, tested out the car a little bit. I drove it a little bit. He said like it was some features inside the car that worked. They didn't. Uh, but like I didn't really. I mean, I didn't really care about it like that because I'm like, it was like the TV. He said the TV, it was like a DVD player or something, and that it worked. But like it came on, but you couldn't, none of the DVDs you would try to play, it wouldn't play. Um, I can't even remember if the CDs played. Like, yeah, the CDs played, but the DVDs didn't. So, or it might have been the type of DVDs I had. Like, maybe no, because I tried legit DVDs. Anyways, it didn't work. That's not the point of the story. That didn't work. Okay, that feature didn't work, and so he didn't have the manufacturing keys or whatever, and that's cool because I had a car that didn't have manufacturing keys, right? So and then the door, it closed all the way, but it was something about the door that didn't still close all the way. Anyways, like I was just like, okay, well, I mean, it closed, but it was just like I don't know. It was something else about it that was just kind of seemed minor to me. Like, the door locked, it still closed, it locked. So, I didn't really see like the big issue with it, right? So, everything else was fine. Windshield wipers, all of that, everything worked. So I'm like, okay, well, it worked. It should be good. So I ended up, I didn't do it right then and there, like, because I was just like, let me think on this a little. And so I kind of told, he had to get back to work. That's what it was. He had to get back to work. And so I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go. I was like, I'm just going to go, to the house, kind of think about it a little bit. And then he said, okay, well, you can just come. I work tomorrow, but I don't work until the afternoon. So you can just come. He was like, no, I don't work tomorrow. So you can come and we can, do it tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go home and I'm kind of thinking about it like, yeah, it's a car. It ain't exactly what I wanted, but it is a car. So, I'm I guess just do it or whatever. And so it was just like, I still didn't feel completely right about it. Like, I still was kind of just like, maybe I shouldn't. And so, and so I ended up, he ended up, I ended up, okay, so Friday came. And so I called him because he said that we could do it at like 10. So I called him at like 10. He didn't answer. And I had been calling him like on and off, calling, no answer, no answer, no answer. And so it started to be to me like, okay, maybe it just ain't meant for me to get this damn car because if I gotta go through all this for a car that ain't even, particularly exactly what I wanted, then maybe it's not meant for me to get it. I had told my sisters like, okay, look, y'all just gonna have to we just gonna have to figure out a way that all of us can get there, like without me having a car. So y'all just gonna have to do 2 trips or something. Like y'all gotta do something, or I'm just do a lift there, whatever. Like I was just like, okay, cool, whatever, right? So it was probably like I would say What time was it? It was probably like 3 o'clock. I had left. I had called again because I was like, okay, if I'm out, I could just go do it. I was trying to do it before I got the boys. That way I would have been able to get everything done without having them. And so I called him. He still didn't answer. He didn't answer until like after I had already picked the boys up from school, everything. It was like 5 o'clock. And he's like, oh, I've been at work all day, da da da. And I'm like, you still could have said something. Like, if you didn't want to sit with your car, you should just sit there. Like. He's like, no, 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 that's not it. So by the time he's like, well, do you want the car or whatever? And he was just like, you can come over here and get it. I'm at work, so we have to do it in between. Da, da, da. Mind you, it's late. So my son party was on Saturday, which was the next day. So I'm just kind of just like, well, I mean, that way everybody else don't have to worry about, like, how we gonna get there, blah, blah. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just do it. So I get it. And, you know, he was like, okay, it's gonna need an oil change and some brakes. So I was like, okay, well, that's normally the thing. But he was like, I can, fix that for you because I normally do that myself. And I'm like, okay, well, you said you was gonna do that anyway. Like, he had told me he was gonna do it the day he was gonna do it that Friday. Like, when we had talked on Thursday, he said Friday he was gonna do it, like, before he, went in, because he said he didn't have to go to work. So he was saying he was gonna do it, and then he was saying some other stuff came up and he couldn't do it, blah blah blah. And so something kept telling me just not do it, just not do it. But again, I felt pressured, and I felt as if this was something that I needed because I had something going on. Like, if I probably didn't have my son party the next day that I had already paid for, mind you, I probably would have just been like, forget it. Like, I probably just been like, no. I probably wouldn't have did it. But because it was like his party was the next day, it was so many things that I still had to like get, that I wanted to get that morning before we went. It was just like, okay, instead of me having to ask somebody else to take me, I could just do it myself, you know. And where we were going, like, we was going to the Chain Castle, which was about, like, if you try to take the bus, it was about like 2 hours away. But in the car, it's like 35 minutes away. So I was just like, okay, well, if I had the car, it'd be easier, da da da. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do it. So I ended up paying him for the car. Then I ended up having to go and pay for the registration, the title, all that stuff, which put me over the amount that I was trying to spend in total. Yeah. And so, remember when I was saying that the car that I wanted when I went to the other dealership, I think it's one more. I think that's it. My bad. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? It's a natural function. Y'all sneeze too. Anyway. Um. Yeah. So so I went and I did all that. So what I was saying before is that what I forgot to do that I did with them at the dealership that I went to, that guy that I ended up buying the car from, like his personal car from. What I did with him that I didn't do with the other place of the car that I actually was like, it's mine. I didn't put down the money, right? Because normally when you put down the money, like, that shows them that you're serious about it and that they, like, will hold the car for you or whatever. Now, somebody could have put more down than me and he still could have just been like, forget it. Um, but I guess with sales and things like that, like, you putting the money down, that kind of shows them that you for real interested, like you're serious. And that's what I didn't do because I didn't think of it that way. Like I didn't think that I needed to put no money down because I literally just talked to you. You kind of was just like, okay, cool, it'll be here when you get back. Like had he said like, okay, well, maybe, you know, you should just put a couple dollars down or something. That way, like if somebody else come, they'll know it's yours. Like granted, he said that, but whatever. Like yeah. So that's like one of the things that I think like maybe if I had to did that, it would have made a difference. It could have very well not. It could have very well still not have made any difference either. Like I said, but like when I re-looked over like how things went with the situation, that's what I thought. Like maybe if I had to put some money down, like you know, he could have saved the car, or whatever. So so fast forward, I got the car, you know, and so something happened with the car where I ended up having to take it to go get fixed. hmm And it was maybe like a week later, like after I had got the car, I had to take it to get something fixed. And then I got that fixed. And then after that was fixed, I had to get something else fixed. That was besides the brakes and the oil change that he never did, mind you. Then I had to go get something else fixed. And then I had to get some new tires, even though he said that those were great tires, those were just winter tires, and all of that. So I had to go buy some more tires because the tires had a flat. Um, and this was all in a matter of like, I got the car in March. I had to get about, I would say, $700 worth of stuff done, all the way up until from March until about May, June. And then I ended up traveling with the car and it started to overheat. And then I called the dude who I got the car from and kind of asked him if he had these issues before, and he said no, which I didn't really believe, but I was just like, oh, distraught. Like, no, like, no, 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 no. Just like feeling salty, like, ugh. So, fast forward, this was kind of like in May we did this or whatever. So then by June, the car was pretty much overheating, like big overheating, like to the point where it would like lock up on me. So I only had the car for like 3 months. And yeah, by June, pretty much towards the end, middle of June, I was no longer driving it. It was no longer working, and it's now almost about to be June of 2019, and I still haven't driven it. It's still sitting in my backyard because I didn't have the money to get it fixed, and I just didn't even want to deal with it. Like I just didn't want to deal with it. So I pretty much been back on the bus. So, but when I thought about the situation, when I kept just rethinking it over, like it used to make me so mad, like so upset because, you know, I kind of felt like there were some things I did wrong. There were some things that he could have been more truthful about. Um, there were some things that I could have just been like, I didn't necessarily need the car. I was fine. Like, we were getting around on the bus. We was getting around on the bus in the winter. We were doing it. So like, again, I felt pressure. Like, okay, maybe I need the car because, we don't have a car in the house. Like, even though my sisters never have a car, we don't have a car, like, physically in the household. So that would be like easier for us to get around, go to the store. We wouldn't have to be asking my sisters who'd be busy, like different things. And so, um, I was telling you just like whatever. Like it was just like whatever. So, um, when I reflected on everything, like I said, I just kept thinking, and I still couldn't figure out what the heck did I do wrong. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, did y'all figure it out? Because I asked y'all in the other video to kind of comment below what you thought went wrong. So, did y'all kind of come up with some stuff? I'm going to read the comments to find out, but we'll see. But it didn't dawn on me. It didn't dawn, like, it never, like, I never could really fully, like, figure out exactly, like, I just felt like, okay, well, he was dishonest, and then I was in a rush. I was impatient, you know, so maybe that's why, like, because I was impatient, and I got something that I didn't necessarily need. Like, I didn't feel like I needed it. Like, I was cool. Like, I would have rather just kept my money in my pocket if I couldn't find a car. Like, that's how I was like, well, if I don't got it, you know, um, I did put a time limit on it though. Like I was just like, I need this car in a couple of days. But then like after the first 2 days, I was just like, okay, if I don't find it, and actually no, I had been looking for a car for about 2 weeks. I had been looking for a car for about 2 weeks. Like I had did it 2 days the week before, and then had started running the rest of the week. So I was just like, forget it, I'm not doing that. And then I started about looking again that week of right. So, it had technically been like what 5 days. So I'm just still like, still distraught. Like I still couldn't figure out, like, even to this day, like I was still thinking, like, what the heck did I do wrong? Like, where did I go wrong? Like, how did that happen? Then a similar situation happened to me a couple of days ago. A similar situation happened to me a couple of days ago. And it pretty much went the exact same way that went. Like, pretty much. Now, mind you, I had started listening to the CDs that I had. Well, not it's a CD disc, but it's like on my phone, whatever. But I had started listening to these audio messages, um, recordings that someone had posted that I had, and I had started listening to those over and over again. And something that I had listened to the CD multiple times, like listened to these tracks multiple times. But it was like when I started re-listening to it, like I started hearing things that I didn't hear before, or that like made more sense before, and it kind of like was like duh, that's what I did wrong, like you know. So um, I ended up going. So Kion graduated. I was looking for a particular shoe for him, and I was looking for a white shoe. He wears a size 13 shoe in men. So I was looking for an all white shoe. I know he don't wear all white like that. So I was particularly looking for a shoe that he could just wear, for a couple of times, because I know him. He's not going to wear it all the time, so I'm not going to pay no $70, $80, $60, $80 for a shoe that he only going to wear twice. So that's my thought process. So I look online and I'm looking up different stores. I'm going into different stores and I'm just like, I don't see any shoe that look particularly like what he's looking for, or that like would go exactly with what, he trying to wear. So after I had went to a couple of stores, I had went online and I looked on the website on Puma, because I know that before I was able to find Karai some shoes on there for his birthday. So I'm like, maybe I can find like some $30 shoes on here for Kayan. Like, it would be great. So I did. I found some all white Pumas, all white, $30. It'd have been like $31 plus tax, free shipping. Boom. Cool. Now, now, I did not buy it right away. I didn't. Me, I'm like, he kind of wanted some high tops, like high top all white shoes. So let me keep looking and see if I can possibly find some all white high top shoes. I'm gonna get these low top ones, but I'm gonna look around still to see if I can find some high top ones first. So I was still looking around, still looking different stores, going to multiple stores, looking. Couldn't necessarily find any. So, um, the day before I got ready to buy them, no, yeah. So the day of that I got ready to buy them, I was out. I was like, okay. I didn't have the money on my card, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go put the money on my card, and I'm about to shoe. So I was out after I put the money on my card. I didn't buy the shoe while I was out. Like I was sitting on the bus, and I could have did it, but I was just like, nope, I'm gonna take it home because I don't want to waste up all my data. Like, yeah, I don't want to waste up my data. Nope, still didn't do it. So then I got home, got a phone call. I was talking to my sister about it, like, oh, I wanted to go to the mall to see if I could find some high top, all high top, some high top white shoes. And like she just like, oh, you ain't gonna find no high top white shoes, not for no $30. Like you not gonna find that or whatever. And I was like, it's possible because I found him some high top white shoes before for $20. Like there was some chucks. I mean, there was some chucks, like all white chucks. But he couldn't. He they was too tight around his feet, so I didn't get them. So we go. I go to. I didn't even end up going to the mall. So I came home and I hadn't showed Kayan the shoes. So I came home. I got a phone call from somebody from his school, kind of talking about some things that we needed to discuss. And so then Kayan finally came home. It was like 5 something. And that day I was just like, we just go to the mall that night, like go up to Riverside Mall and look. And so Kayan came home. I showed him the shoe and I was like, what you think about this shoe? He was like, oh, okay, I like it. I want it. So I was like, okay, cool. Still didn't buy the shoe. I got distracted doing other stuff. I'm like, so then it was like 8 o'clock at night. And so I'm telling my sister, like, yeah, I'm about to buy the shoe or whatever. Boom. So finally, I go in the room. It's like almost 9 o'clock. Shoe still available, like still available. So I started putting all the information in them. And then was like, okay, let me look one more time to make sure, like, it ain't no other shoes, right? Then I'm like, okay, let me look and make sure this is a boy shoe and not a girl shoe. Like, it's not a kid shoe. So I got the card number ready. I'm like, ready. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I'm like, go back, putting the information in there, I click back out to see, like, make sure there was like a men's shoe, even though it's just a unisex. So, but it didn't show me that on the final page. So I was just like, I just wanted to make sure because I didn't want to be bad size 13 shoe for a little kid. So I go back to the page to try to check out, and it says sold out, zero, like zero quantity. And I was just like, no, 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 no. I keep clicking out the page, like keep clicking back out, clicking back out, clicking back out. Like no, this cannot be it. Like I keep clicking back, this is not it. Keep clicking back out, and the shoe wasn't there. It's no more of the shoe. So I'm just distraught. And I was just like, no, what just happened? Like, what did I just do wrong? Now I'm sitting up still like, okay, let me process this. What did I do wrong? Like, what, Monica, what did you just do again? Like, you did this again. Like, what did you do? What did you do wrong? So I'm sitting up like, okay, well, I didn't buy the shoe when I first saw it. Like, I should have just got the shoe. Like, you know how it is to come back all white shoes with men's sizes for $30. Like, that's hard to come by. Why didn't you just buy the shoe? There you go. Keep thinking you're gonna find something better. Da-da-da. And so I was just distraught. So I kept looking. So I just left that alone, and I was just like, okay, let me see if I can find him somewhere else that maybe have another shoe. I did. I ended up going to another website. I found another shoe. It's not particularly Puma, but it looked kind of the same. It looked like Adidas. But they all white. They all white shoes, and it was $30. Came out to be the exact same price as it would have been with the Adidas. And as soon as I put my card number in there, I was like, I showed it to my son. I was like, okay, they didn't have the Pumas anymore. Something happened and they didn't have no more. They were sold out. So here, look at these. Would you wear these? And he was like, oh yeah, I like these, Ma. And then I had showed him a couple more shoes, and I was like, well, what about this one? No, Ma. What about this one? No, Ma. I like the other one. Okay, cool. Boom, done. Paid for it, right? So after I did that, I kind of just like went to bed and I didn't really think about it. So when I woke up, I was just like, now why did that happen? Like I was just sitting there like, how did that happen again to me? Like how did that happen? Like where I really wanted something, and then when I was getting ready to bed, like it was gone. Like how did that happen? Like what did I do wrong? And so it came to me is that I didn't really realize like when I was manifesting stuff, and I ain't even gonna keep saying manifesting, but like when I was thinking about stuff, thinking about what I want, I would still be doubtful. And that's why I was still looking. Like I was still looking other places, like thinking like, okay, well, maybe like like it was almost like I was thinking like, or maybe this is what I said I wanted and I needed in the price, but maybe there's something else because I just can't believe that this came to me this fast. Like, it's like when you think about stuff, like for me, you almost want it to be like not that easy, if that makes sense. Like it's not to be that easy. Like it can't be that easy. Like I couldn't have just sit there and then boom, like, these shoes. I'm like, well, let me keep looking because maybe there's something out there, maybe a little cheaper, or maybe that's just not it. Like that can't be. Like I couldn't have just did that. Like I couldn't have just said, oh, look, this is what I'm looking for, and boom, there it is. Or I'm envisioning this, and then boom, there it is. Like it was almost like I'm doubtful. Like I was still doubting that I could actually say that I want something and allow it to come to me as fast, if that makes sense. And so it dawned on me. It was like that's what I did wrong. That's what I did wrong with the car. Like I, when you think about it, like I saw that vision of the car a week before I actually saw the car. Like I saw the detail of it kind of before I even got to the car. So I had been looking for the car um for about, I would say, 5 days, because like I said, I had went 2 days the week before, and then three on the third day, the second on the okay, I went 2 days the week before, and then 3 days the week of, and on the third day is when of that second week is when I found the car. And so to me, it was just like I didn't think of the dates. I didn't think of the time. I didn't think about like, oh, I've been searching something. Like when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's mine. But yet I left still searching, right? You know? Like it was like I asked for something, I saw how it was going to be, what it was going to look like, and then when it showed itself to me, I was like, "It's not really exactly what I was looking for," but it was exactly what I saw that I was looking for. But because it was a minivan, it kind of threw me off. Even though I was like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna be driving a minivan. I'm just gonna be a soccer mom," like Um, but it still threw me off, and I was still kind of just doubting, like, nope, this ain't it. Like, maybe I keep walking, keep looking, I'm gonna find something else. And then after I went down to the other dude, and was just like, okay, nah, I'm not gonna do what he doing. All these other car places right here ain't got nothing, so I'm just gonna get that one. Then I went back, and he was like, no, boop, it's gone. It's gone, ma'am. You lost it. And so that's what I learned. Like, I learned that I was doubtful, very doubtful. Still, like the couple days ago, I was doubtful. I ain't doubtful no more. Don't get me wrong. I ain't doubtful no more. I am not. I'd learned. I'd learned. I said learned. I'd learned my lesson. Like, lesson is like aha moment. I got it. I got it. I got it. Yep. Yes, I do. I got it. So that was what I learned, and like it's really helped me though, because I had another situation where um I was looking for shoes for Cohen for his birthday. He picked it out, and he picked them out the day before. I didn't when I looked up the price, I would have to pay shipping, and I didn't have all the money on my card, so I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the exact amount that it's gonna be on my card, so I'm gonna have to go and put the money in the card. So I'm like, okay, well, since I'm gonna have to go put money in my card anyway, I might as well just go to the mall and see if I can find, like, go to the particular store in the mall and see if they have this exact shoe in the mall. That way, I don't have to pay for shipping. Like, I could just, pay the regular price plus the taxes. So we went, and it was a complete bust. I couldn't find nothing in the mall at all. And then he was cutting up. He was irritated. It was just a mess. So I'm like, okay, this is going. So I got back home, and I'm kind of thinking, like, okay, I didn't even get a chance to put the money on my card because I had them, and it was just a mess. And so, oh, it's starting to skip. And so, I was just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna see. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ask my aunt if she could just like Zelle me some money or whatever, and I give her the cash that I was gonna put on my card. So I was like, but I wonder if I was like, too bad they don't have it where I could like, cause on another card I had some money. So I was like, too bad they don't have it where I could just like pay two different ways, like pay with this, pay half with this card, pay half with the other card. So I finally decided to like just go through the whole checkout process. So I fill out everything, go through the checkout process. It gets to the payment screen and it say single payment, multiple payments. I said, what the what? Multiple payments. Okay. I was like, all right, got it. Good. We're doing it. And I just paid with two cards. I didn't hesitate. I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, did I just make that happen right now? Like, oh yes, okay, cool. Got you. Let's do this. Like, so I learned my lesson. Like, I learned my lesson for real. Like, I now know that